Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor and I help people navigate through their awakening or their ascension process. And today, because I know a lot of you have this burning desire to help others, I'm going to give you 5 different ways that you can help other people ascend into fourth density without ever mentioning words like fourth density or the incoming disclosure or extraterrestrial influence on politics. You don't have to talk about any of that. No conspiracy theories, because for most people that is way too big of a gap to bridge, and it's just going to freak them out and turn them away and be ineffective essentially. So I'm going to give you 5 different ways that you can, but you can still help them. Doesn't mean you can't help them, and that's what this video is about. So number 1 is to work on yourself. People tend to naturally want to mimic and emulate and seek guidance from someone whom they respect and who has something they want. So the more happy, successful, self-empowered you can become yourself, the more people are going to look to you for answers and for guidance and just start like copying you without being like a phony. They're going to just start trying to, well, what do you do? What's your morning routine, man? What's your secret? You got this nice car, you got this nice family, you seem like you're financially well-to-do, you're very happy and you're very loving, you look pretty healthy. Well, and then you help them, and the better you become yourself, the more people will do that. And by inspiring others naturally to better themselves, you're helping everyone you come in contact with who sees you in that way raise their vibration. Number 2, and this is not always easy, but yet you all have the potential, the power to do this if you really try, is to be loving when it counts. It's easy to be loving to really nice people who just did you a favor and say, oh, thank you, that was great. It's very hard to be loving and compassionate and turn the other cheek if you need to an asshole or to someone who's being mean or tearing you down or being a bad example of a human being. That's when it really counts. That really is the test to see how far have you actually come spiritually. How much of in a position are you actually to be giving advice if you're just constantly still unconsciously reacting to people's negative habits, which is just a product of their own conditioning, which you should be empathetic towards rather than judgmental. So be loving when it counts. And practice this. Don't have, at least for me, I'm not perfect at this. I get angry sometimes, but I personally, I'll practice with the comments. I don't fortunately get that many negative comments, but when I do and I feel that emotional triggering, instead of react or try to belittle them or be like mean to them or prove them wrong or something, I step back, I examine why did those emotions bother me in the first place. Maybe I believed in what they said. They said, maybe your hair sucks, Vic. Oh God. If I really loved my hair, that comment wouldn't bother me. What's the deal with my hair? I look at myself. I look at it as an opportunity to grow, and then I try to say something respectful and nice, or say nothing at all. That's my way. You guys come up with your own ideas. Number 3 is remain open to the divine guidance that sometimes will flow in when someone is around you that could use some divine guidance. This happened to me a few years ago at a rock concert. I was standing next to this guy. I think I shared this in one of my earlier videos, so I'm sorry if it's a repeat, but I was standing next to this my brother-in-law's best buddy, Joe. And this kid, back, many of you guys know I used to like grow weed as like a career. And this kid was always like just one of the big like fans, a big like super stoner type kid who just really loved weed, he loved growing, he loved everything about it. It was a real passion of his. But he found himself always being like the bitch, like the kind of person that take care of other people's gardens, getting paid like minimum wage when he kind of knew how to do it. And I was just sitting there watching this concert, and I knew for some reason, he didn't mention it, I just knew he was thinking about all that. I just had the sense that he's thinking about that, and he deep down really wants to like branch off and take that leap and start his own little grow operation. Which again, this is a big thing in Michigan, and this sounds kind of weird to you guys. A lot of people do this. I'm in California now. A lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. And I knew he was just like contemplating this all in his head. He didn't say a word of it. I knew it. So I just kind of moved his shoulder. I said, Joe, you should grow. You can do it, man. I said something real simple like that, and he lit up his eyes. It was like he just had like an angelic moment, and all it did was like, because I was sitting there and I worked on myself and I was open, I allowed that to come through. I didn't distort it with like my own personal opinion of what I think you should do as a means of doing that. I simply shared what came through because I remained open. And how do you really remain open? It's just a sort of a natural state of being you're all going to find yourself doing. And just being in more of a state of allowance while in social situations, rather than trying to project a certain personality. Number 4, this is a big one, is be an example of someone who pursues their dreams. An example, a living proof of courage. So many people these days lack courage. Almost everybody has a dream, a desire they wish to fulfill. Just a dream, essentially. And it's a very, very small percent. In fact, that's why I love this bottle. It's kind of big and awkward, as you can see, although it helps you drink water. 5%, this guy named Rich Piana, he's like a bodybuilder, and the 5% represents, it's like his brand. It goes into like saying that 5% of people only are the kind of people who will actually not only pursue their dream, but put forth the sufficient amount of work ethic and drive and consistency and actually fulfill them. It's a very small, I think it's way less than that personally. So, but if you can be an example of that, if you can be that 5%, you're going to help everybody indirectly who knows you. You might trigger some people. You might make some people fear inferior to you, but that's good because you're shedding light on their own shortcomings naturally without preaching to them, and other people you're going to inspire. And lastly, number 5 is be yourself. Be your authentic self whenever possible. This doesn't always necessarily mean spouting out your personal opinion on every little matter. It just means being true to yourself, being your real self, because that is one of the hardest things for anyone to do. Ascension, awakening, by definition, all it really is doing on a very simple and fundamental level is bringing people into more of an embodiment of who they really are, and I have always been, rather than the character they've been molded into. And if you can just simply be yourself, you, without even trying, you give other people permission to also be themselves. They feel more comfortable being themselves. And the more people on the planet can just be themselves, quite simply, that's all it really takes, that's how many more people you actually help make this transition. So those 5 things have been, in my experience, by far the most effective ways of helping anybody, even like the really non-spiritual like type of people in your life who you feel might be lost in the sauce and have no chance. I have found that just by doing those things, I have helped a lot of people. So hopefully that helps you guys, and I will speak to you next time. I'm getting tired. I gotta go. Peace.